Welcome, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric from CSN, and we are live streaming tonight on the 16th of July, also known as Halfway Night, and I will be explaining that soon right now, so let us get right into it. If you haven't been here before for my live streams, I'll show you quickly what we're going to go over here tonight. So this is what I call the rundown. Now these are the subjects we're going to be talking about, so you can see these as we go down. And then at the end we're going to have what we call a Q&A portion where you can ask questions in the chat. You can start doing that now, and we'll get to those once we get to this part of the program. Also, if you have questions regarding the subjects that we're going to be talking about, each individual ones in the rundown, you can put your questions there too, and I'll get to those. So let's get to this right now. So as far as Halfway Night goes, should have a little bit of an explanation here. So basically, in the military, specifically the Navy, you go out on deployments. You can go out for 3 months, 6 months at a time, what have you. And they have in the middle of the deployment what they call halfway night. That means you're halfway to home, halfway into the deployment. So it's part of our directive to be open-minded and have some fun, as I talked about in my previous video. This is what they do. So they have a little bit of fun here. Now, this isn't me per se. I got these off the internet just to let you know. So this is not me. However, I am ready to have some fun right here, right now with you. And I have my drink here. So let's have a little fun. We'll go over some topics and we'll have a little Q&A, right? Salud. So let's get right to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is there were some interviews with John Gruden and Gus Bradley right after the minicamp that I didn't cover in my last live stream, and they were kind of pertinent. I put links in the description below if you want to take a look at the individual interviews yourself, but this is what I kind of gleaned from that. Now we're going to first start with the head coach. He was asked certain questions, right? And one of the first ones he was asked was about the defensive line and the movement and what he felt about it. Of course, he mentioned that, you know, there was some shocks going on with that, obviously with Maurice Hurst and Arden Key being let go. Ironically, they both ended up with San Francisco, but he did mention that he felt that they were better overall and deeper. So the next one I want to talk about is somebody asked him about Divine Diablo, why he wasn't participating in camp, what was going on with him, and he was very abrupt with it. He just said he had an issue, he could not participate in minicamp, and that's as far as he went. And this gets me a little disturbed because I'm not sure what's going on here. Hey Jojo, good for you to come on in here. I'm not so sure about what's going on with this guy. I mentioned this in previous videos, and he's still not signed as of now, so this could be an issue going forward. This could be another Lynn Bowden situation where we spent a third-round pick on a guy that just didn't fit, and we had to shuffle him off in the offseason. The next topic that he talked about was they were asking him about the defense. They're asking him, hey, Earth Daughter, how are you? Thanks for coming in. They were asking about the roster itself and how he felt about it. And was it the best roster he's had since he's been there in his second stint? And he wasn't, you know, he basically said, a decent answer. He's saying, well, you know, we're basically in minicamp. And if you don't know, minicamp's basically where you walk through drills. You're not putting on the pads. You're not hitting each other. Basically running through drills, seeing if people are in shape and all that. So he didn't really know how to say that, but he felt that we were younger and faster. So that's good in and of itself. They also asked him about the cornerback and wide receiver competitions. Hey, Sandy, how are you doing? Thanks for coming. Now, as far as those go, the cornerback competition with Damon Arnett and Casey Hayward and the wide receiver competition, specifically with Henry Ruggs, he kind of gave a kind of a canned answer. Basically, the best players are going to play. So Again, I'm not so certain that bodes well for Damon Arnett, especially with Casey Hayward in there and him having a good grasp of the new defensive coordinator Gus Bradley's system. Okay, as far as Gus Bradley goes, first thing I want to talk about is the difference in the interviews. Okay, they're night and day. Gruden's very gruff. He looks like he wants to strangle somebody. He doesn't want to be there. In comparison, Gus Bradley, he was laughing when he got there. I don't know if he was smoking the wacky weed or what, but he's a very personable guy, a very positive guy, and he was smiling throughout the whole interview. If you want to check out the link, if you do so desire. The number one thing I got from this is he's talked about this in the beginning. He talked about it at the end about having 2 defensive line groups that can rush the passer. He truly feels that, and frankly, we might have it with Yannick and drafting Kuntz, and then you have Cleve Farrell and Max Crosby. He mentioned Max by name, coming in very lean, looking good when he came into minicamp, very quick. So that bodes well. Next one he was talking about is trying to develop trust within the defense, and as much as everybody's working together, everybody's on the same page, everybody knows what they're supposed to go and what they're supposed to be doing. And this is a throwback, I think, to the previous regime with Paul Guenther. Basically, the players looked like they were completely lost out there on defense, missing assignments, missing tackles, and not just the young guys. LaMarcus Joyner, Corey Littleton, none of them looked very secure in where they were doing and what they were supposed to be doing out there. So I think Gus's system is supposedly a lot simpler, and I think that should be a lot more beneficial to all the players. And then he mentioned consistency. You know, it's nice if somebody makes a play, but he's looking at, well, how many times are you making a play versus not making a play? And he wants some consistency. And he kind of gave a left-handed slam a little bit. I call it that, to the situations last year. He was saying, especially in fourth quarter drives, trying to stop drives on defense, 2-minute drills. We had a lot of issues with that last year and lost a lot of games that we shouldn't have based on that. KC game, the Miami game, if you saw my video, the review on that. Hey, what's up, Raider Wolf? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. We're just going over our rundown. We're having some fun here, making some drinks, and we'll have some Q&A here very quickly. The last thing that they talked about was a guy mentioned, one of the reporters mentioned, how he thought that our secondary was very similar to the Legion of Boom. And I liked Gus's answer to this. He said, well, yes, they are kind of young and athletic, but he was kind of pumping the brakes. He said, well, they're still in the learning phase. Obviously they are. I mean, they just got into the system. Hey, Dark Wolf, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And they were, they're still in the learning phase in this defense. I think it's a little bit premature to make comparisons to that team, which was absolutely awesome. They should have won 2 Super Bowls instead of 1, but I digress with that. The next thing I want to talk about is the next steps for the team right now. Obviously, we're in the offseason right now. It's the middle of July. We went through the mini camp about a month ago. I did put out a video on this called Pathway to a New Season. I put a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. But basically, the next significant point now is training camp, and that starts on July 27th. I'll be making some videos on that, obviously. And then we go into the preseason, and the first game is August 14th against Seattle. And that goes, we have 3 preseason games instead of 4. Due to the change, we're adding 1 regular season game, so we have 17 regular season games. Yeah, thank you, Sandy, for watching that. I can't wait to see it either, Raider Wolf. I'm very excited. I'm tempering my expectations because it's going to be new, and we got a lot of young players, but I'm thinking, especially year 2, we're going to see a nice big jump here. And then we get to week 1 against the Ravens, hosting them at, in our brand new stadium, finally with a crowd on Monday Night Football, September 13th, trying to contain Lamar Jackson. I'm very excited about that. So, and then from now until the season, I'll be making these Raider Rumor Mill videos. I'll be looking around, looking at the recent rumors and giving them my point of view and whether I think they're valid or not. I use what I call the ciphers, those animated GIFs, to express my point of view, whether I think it's legit or not. So I'll keep doing that, and this will follow into the next subject. And this is the 31 and 31 series I'm doing. And so we're doing 31 videos in 31 days. Whoop. Let's go back. 31 videos in 31 days. And I just kind of want to go over here with the pointer here. So we're here at July 16th, technically halfway through the season, or halfway through the month. So what I am expecting to do is do some more fantasy videos, usually during the week. And then I'll do some more NFL videos and Raider rumor videos as well. Next week starts the Olympics. I might do like a general Olympic preview video as well, as far as covering sports. And then once we start in training camp here, starting on the 27th, I will be doing some of that. And then I will also be having a live stream for the Raider rumors. Instead of having it on the Sundays, I usually do them on Sundays. I'll have that one on Saturday, the last day of the month, and that we'll have a live stream on that. Now, the next subject I want to talk about, which kind of flows into this, is the future plans for the channel. Now, I did talk about this in a previous video. Now, I will be finishing the 31 and 31 series. Obviously, I keep looking to improve the channel and keep looking to grow the channel, and kind of being an open-minded as far as if, making minor changes or major changes if needed, and having some fun. That's what we're doing tonight. So there's a couple of concepts I'm working on for August. I can't really get into them right now. I want to give specifics because I need to kind of hash out some details, but I have a couple of good ideas. Been collaborating with somebody who gave me some good ideas. I have a couple actually, and we're going to implement those in August because I'm not going to have time to do a video every day and work on this and get this going. But there's going to be some changes to the channel itself. I'll still be covering Raider videos and football and fantasy and stuff like that, but we're gonna tweak it a little bit, try to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun, and get more interactivity and more involvement with you guys watching as well. Now we'll come to the point right now of our Q&A. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat right now. I'll be looking right now in the chat, so you can put those in there as well. So we'll put a little bit of music on as well. Put a little bit lower. I have my drink. Go ahead, if you're of age, you can have a drink as well, if you so desire, or if not, you can have a soda. It's all good. So if you have any questions that you want to go over, we can talk about it. We can talk about the schedule. I can pull the schedule up and talk about that. If you want to talk about it specifically, or anything that I talked about in the rundown, we can do that as well. Yes, Earth Daughter, I'm looking forward to the future plans as well. I think they're going to be outstanding. I cannot wait. It's blue. Yes, I have a blue curacao. It's part of the drink. So there's tequila in here and some blue curacao. So it's a little kind of a tropical type of drink. That's why I have the tropical type of music. Do you think Arnett's a bust? I think it's too early to tell. I'm trying to be optimistic, Raider Wolf. Minicamp and the reports out of there are not as encouraging as I'd like them to be. It looks like Casey Hayward is going to start over him, and they weren't even having Arnett in the drills for the inside for the slot position. So it's, again, I'm trying to be optimistic. He was a first-round pick, and I've talked about this in my draft videos. It's I think it more reflects on Gruden and Mayock because a lot of people thought Arnett was a reach there. I believe he went 17th. So thanks, Earth Daughter. So if he doesn't pan out, I think it's more along the lines of Gruden and Mayock, obviously. Same thing with Alex Leatherwood, picking him so high in the first round. A lot of people had him as the mid-second, late second round grade. Were you hoping we'd get Sherman? Initially, I thought it would be a good fit. I did a video on that, actually, Raider Wolf, about Sherman. And because he was in the Legion of Boom, so he knew Gus Bradley's system. Thought he would bring some experience to that. But obviously, with signing a Casey Hayward, and then now these domestic issues that he was arrested for just recently, maybe that was a good move. We did not bring him in after all. So what team will be their challenge, Sandy B asked. So why don't we pull that up? We can actually look at that. So I'll bring this up. So you can see, you guys can see the schedule right here, right? So I went and did a live stream just on scheduling, and this is what I had on. I can make my screen a little bit smaller so you can actually see it, or I'll come off cam just a second so you can actually see it. So here's the schedule as I had it right now, and I went over the live stream game by game, and I ended up saying that we would probably end up with a 9-8 record. I could see 10 wins here. I was kind of a little strict with it. I gave us a loss to the Giants after a bye week on the road. Things like that. I know we drop at least one stupid game a year. A lot of people were upset at me about this one, the opening game with Baltimore. I'm wondering how this new defense is going to handle Lamar Jackson in the running game. It doesn't make any sense to me to just give them a blanket W. I did give them the win against the Steelers, though, coming back on the road. So 11-6. Okay, so Raider Wolf, what would you change on my schedule that you see here? If you're going 11-6, you gotta give them 2 more wins. I did split with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Actually, I could move that one week 4 to a W. I wouldn't be also terrible about that. Chicago's going to be interesting, and Philly. They both have new quarterbacks. Yeah, why Baltimore? Yeah, for Lamar Jackson. This defense wasn't very good in the beginning. I know we've upgraded. We got Yannick Ngakoue. We got Casey Hayward. But Lamar Jackson's going to be hard to contain, and they also have J.K. Dobbins running the ball. So I'm very concerned on how we're going to keep Lamar from getting like 150 rushing yards and a couple touchdowns. We sweep the Broncos. Yeah, I could see that as well. It seems that most of the games we've played, at least in the Gruden era, they've been relatively close and low scoring. I could give us a W there because it's not necessarily going to be a cold game. Mid-October, maybe some snow. Doubt it. I gave us a loss. It's going to be a short week. It's going to be Thanksgiving on the road. That's why I gave us the loss against Dallas. I would probably stay with that. I would probably not change that one. And then we split with the Chiefs. That's realistic. This one's probably the one that could go either way here on the Browns game. The loss. We beat them last year. It was in kind of a windstorm. Happy Thanksgiving, Plowboys. Yeah, I really want them to win this game. This is on my birthday. I was hoping this would be in Vegas. I'd drive up there to see him. I'm about 4 hours away. So, but yeah, this one's going to be kind of tough. I think it's going to be weather dependent, and I think that's another reason why, if you look at our offensive line and the way it's set up, with Incognito coming back and getting Kenyon Drake, I think we're really going to want to run the ball a lot more than we have before. So that might be the answer to some of these high-powered offenses like KC and Cleveland. Anything else you want to talk about with the schedule? We can also talk about the who I think are going to be starting. I did have to alter this after the draft. So I do think Quentin Jefferson's going to be starting. If you want to. So is that blue drink technically an AMF? No, I didn't put any triple sec in it, so it's not an AMF, but close. Yes, we have 2 great running backs. Yeah, and we're going to use them. I mean, I try to tell people, especially in fantasy, I would kind of ease off on Josh Jacobs because I think you're going to be in a committee situation with Kenyon Drake, and I kind of like it as a Raider fan. I don't like it as a fantasy play, but I like it as a Raider fan because it's going to keep him fresh. Seems that Jacobs, either he gets worn early and has to fight through injuries. He's done that, or he wears out down the stretch. So I think with Drake there to lighten the load, I think he can last a full season and be effective. Too bad my favorite drink. Maybe we'll have one later on, huh? The night is young. All right, so again, here's who I have as far as the starters. The starters are in silver in the boxes. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. I don't want to lose clarity there. So here's your offense, your defense. The specialists, they were basically re-signed. There was no issue with that. What was the stats last year, wins and losses? They were 8-8 last year. I believe they were the 10th ranked offense as far as yards, total yards passing and rushing. And I think they were 24th, 25th in defense as far as yards given up. So I think the offense is fine. I think we also got Willie Snead here, which I didn't really understand when they first got him, but I do agree with it in a way because they're going to keep Hunter Renfrow returning punts, and he's gotten his clock cleaned before, so it's good to have another slot guy there. Raider Wolf says, initially I was worried about Alex Leatherwood pick, but now I'm feeling confident he's going to do really well. Yeah, I actually, I did a video analyzing Alex Leatherwood, and a lot of people I didn't think they understood my grading system. They said, well, you gave him a D. I go, no. I said the draft value was a D. I think I gave him like an A- as a player grade. The one thing with Alex Leatherwood's a big guy, huge guy. Big wingspan. I think he'll be good at right tackle. My only question is the speed rushers. Jalen Phillips, if you watch him against them, it looked like it was kind of half and half. Sometimes he'd get them, sometimes he wouldn't. And I'm a little concerned with a lot of the speed guys, especially in our division. Joey Bosa, you got Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. Frank Clark's in the conversation as well, so I'm a little concerned that people are going to run past him. Maybe we need a tight end in there to help chip. But once he's the kind of guy, he's so big. If he can get in on you inside, it's game over. It's game over. You're not going to get him. You're not going to get through him. All right. Any other questions you want to talk about tonight? If you want to share what you're drinking tonight, go ahead. Do so. We can go over wins and losses if you want to go over that as well. But yeah, I already did that in a previous video, so I don't want to kind of go through that again. I might update this post training camp. So we'll have post after the preseason. So we have to cut down to 53 players on August 31st. Let's see. We have to cut down to 53 players by August 31st. And I think we're still at about 91. That was the last time I did that video, the pathway video. So I don't think we cut anybody since I'm having a red trolley. All right, good for you. Salud. Only water right now. I haven't broken out the Pineapple Sky. Pineapple Sky vodka there, Earth Daughter? Is that what we're talking about? Will you change any while the season starts? You mean like the win-loss? Probably not. I mean, I could, but what I'll do is I'll do weekly game previews as well. A beer by Carl Strauss. Okay. I've never had that before. So yeah, I'll do weekly game previews, so you'll see that, including your Bears. I know you're cross-watching over here, so yeah, we're not really concerned about Khalil Mack. So no tweaking. Yeah, I still think they're going to beat the Bears. They're going to be at home. I don't see them losing 3 games in a row, that's for sure. I think this one's going to be a hard matchup. My logic behind this loss at the Chargers is on Monday night. It's away, but it's probably going to be a blackout down here in SoCal. A lot of Raider fans, but still, the Chargers are a very good team. Got to give it to them. The only thing that was holding them back was Anthony Lynn, their head coach, making a lot of bonehead decisions. I mean, they could have very well swept us last year if you think about it. We had to have a couple big plays by Isaiah Johnson just to secure the game last year, that second game, so at home. So we're going to shut down Khalil Mack. Yeah, I honestly, for what we got for Mack, I agreed with the trade and the amount of money he wanted. It didn't make any sense. Remember, I'm not a real fan when they won the Super Bowl. Hung around my mom's house a lot. It's been a while. 85 Bears. I remember that. I mean, you have to be a little long in the tooth at this point. But then again, you could say the same thing about the Raiders. I mean, they won 83 seasons. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to get into the Tuck rule and the Super Bowl where I think it was thrown and all this other crap. So yeah, a lot of people, Raider Wolf says, yeah, a lot of people say that we got rid of Khalil Mack and that's not what happened. Yeah, I agree. It's not what happened. He didn't, I don't know if it was something, I supposedly never even talked to Gruden when he came in. Honestly, we got 2 1s and, a 3, and we had to give up like a 3 and a 5 or something like that, and it was a great deal. I mean, a lot of people got mad, but it's like, I mean, if we would have given him the money, then we wouldn't have been able to like build the offensive line, and Derek Carr probably would have ended up like his brother, broken in half. Yes, Sandy, you're as old as you feel. Okay. Just remember that. You know what the cure is for age? Some of this. Yum, yum. Get you some tequila. That'll hook you right up. So anyway. Anything else? Any other questions? Anything else you want to talk about? Let me get up a little bit bigger here. Sorry about that. I don't know. I thought I had both of the screens at the same time, but it was not to be. Sorry about that. Love vodka. You and a lot of other people, Sandy, including a couple of your daughters. You're as young as you feel. Absolutely, your daughter. That's the way to do it. Salud, Raider Wolf. Salud. Salud. Who's the highest paid on the Raiders? That's Derek Carr. And I believe Ngakoue has the second highest contract right now, at least for 2021 season. How long have I been making Raider videos? I started fiddling around with videos in December of last year, doing some game reviews. They weren't that good, but I got a little bit better, and then I really kind of pushed in January in the off season. I evaluated like the salary cap numbers, and those videos were well received. Even in that video, I predicted, I said I wanted Gus Bradley in as our defensive coordinator because, as you know, Paul Guenther was fired in the middle of the season. Well, not in the middle, but in December. So I wanted him, and then we got him, and then I did a whole other video just documenting stats on his defenses for every stop he's had. I didn't include the Tampa one because he was kind of an assistant. Let's see. I talked about Seattle with the Legion of Boom. And I talked about when he was head coach at Jacksonville, and then, of course, with the Chargers. I often wonder why you don't have more subscribers who really like your channel. I appreciate that, Raider Wolf. You can help by liking and sharing the video out if you would like to. I would appreciate that. And same thing with this live stream. That's something we're working on as well, as far as a little bit better promotion of the channel. We're doing that as well, and diversifying a little bit into the fantasy. I know a lot of players. I've been playing fantasy football, not as long as I've been a Raider fan, obviously, but over 20 years. I've been a Raider fan since 78. I was born in 71, so I used to watch football with my dad all the time. We're down here in SoCal, so he was a Rams fan. They were okay, but they didn't really do it for me. I like the silver and black, the bad guys, and the hitting and all that, and they were my team. What's my cat's name? This one? This cat is named Bully, by the way, Sandy. She was my daughter named her because she's pretty aggressive. I'm like the only human she likes, so it works. Since 84 here. Yeah, wow. After the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl, Raider Wolf? I remember watching that Super Bowl with my dad, and we made some nachos and some other food, and we just sat there. He wasn't a Raider fan, but he kind of rooted for him because he knew I was. And that game against Washington, it was just utter domination. They got a interception return for a touchdown. They blocked a punt and got it in the end zone. There was just, and then the Washington didn't score a touchdown until the third quarter. And then when they did, the guys blocked the extra point. It was just unbelievable. I was raised in Los Angeles, live in Long Beach now. Yeah, I'm out here in the Inland Empire, so that's where I'm at. That's where I've been. So yeah, badass cat. She's just aggressive with other people. She's gotten better though. My kids kind of mess with her too, so it's kind of a 50-50 split. We had a matchup bully with my Nora. I don't know about that. I think her mother is right here. They're rescues, but yeah, her mother's named Ginger, and I think she's more aggressive than Bully, actually. Not against humans, but with other cats. But anyway. You guys got any other questions or comments about the channel? Anything you'd like to see on the channel? I know people like the live streams, and we started doing those. We started doing those for mock drafts before the NFL draft. We could start doing those for some mock fantasy drafts as well. You guys are in the fantasy. It's been hard being a fan with all these. Yeah, honestly, and I'm one of the I'm a Raider fan, and I want them to win the Super Bowl every year, but I'm also realistic, and I like to say it how I think it is, right? And I mean, it's a hard truth, but that whole situation with Gruden in 2001 after the Tuck Rule game. It was just crazy. I know we got 2 1s, 2 2s, and $10 or $15 million Al got, but it seemed like Callahan threw the game for him, and then the team just spiraled, and then honestly, get down. And then honestly, Al, I mean, he was declining. His health was declining. I think his mental health was declining. Unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated, and that helped with it. And then his son, I call him Tommy Boy, like the movie, because he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He likes to, I think he prefers to go to Hooters and spend time there. So now we got Gruden back because we went through a series of coaches. Mr. Sharpie, Dennis Allen didn't do it. Jack Del Rio was okay. I talked a little bit about that in my Grading Gruden series. So I did a video for each season of John Gruden, and then a summary if you want to check that out. That was pretty good. I talked about Del Rio a little bit, giving a background of where the team was. I think he gambled a lot and got real lucky that 12-4 season. Unfortunately, Carr got hurt, got his leg broken in the Colts game. But the next year they kind of fell back to earth. Hey Dominique, how you doing? You made it. I know, I think Docs was having a live stream as well, but I wanted to get that. I usually try to do these around 8 o'clock, a little bit later. So when we are a little bit later, we have a little drink. So salud. Thanks for coming in. Again, a little tequila, a little blue curacao, a little yum yum. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. And I was getting back to Jack Del Rio. He was okay. Way better than Dennis Allen. I think Dennis Allen looked like a deer in the headlights, especially as a head coach. And then I think Tommy Boy kind of hit the panic button, gave Gruden the 10-year, $100 million deal guaranteed. So this is year 4. This is season 4 we're headed into. So I honestly think we're going to have him probably another at least 3 or 4 seasons, good or bad. So my knock with him is I think he kept his buddy Paul Guenther around and 1 year too long. I think it wasn't working the first 2 years, and I would give like an assistant 2 years. 1 year to get the guys he needs in for his scheme, kind of get everything together, and then the second year start producing. But it didn't happen, and I actually did. If you look at my grading Gruden video in 2020, I have stats of the defense, and the defense is actually worse than when Guenther and company came in. So we're trending ever up since we got Gruden, so not a bad move. Yeah, yes and no. I think overall we're doing better than before. There are some knocks I have on Gruden, and I encourage you to watch the video. A lot of it is game management. The Miami game, I was really upset with him. I had a little rant on that one, but I pulled some stats as far as points allowed, yards allowed in second halves of games and second halves of seasons. And you can tell there's kind of a disturbing trend with the team. It's almost like, almost feels like the other opponents, coaches and what have you, figure us out. Either during the game, make the adjustments, or in the second half of the season, we just kind of wear down. And Derek Carr is looking great. He is so good. I think he makes Marcus Mariota look like a scrub. Yeah, I did a video on that too, whether or not we should keep Derek Carr or let him go. I have him as anywhere, I would say the 6th best quarterback in the league to the 14th as far as ceiling and floor. So I think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl on his own. I think for the most part, he makes good decisions. And last year, he was actually, my knock on him was that he looked kind of timid the season or two after he got his leg broken. It seemed like he was played a little scared out there, a little happy feet. Last year, not so much. I think his big knock is he needs to get new gloves because he keeps fumbling the ball. I'm not even talking about the ones in the end zone. I'm even talking about when he runs out of bounds and, it doesn't hurt us, but it's like, come on, get some better gloves or something, at least on the left hand, maybe not the throwing hand, but at least on the left hand, and just tuck it in. We really need a defense. We haven't had a good defense with Carr. Yes. And I subscribe to the old Al Davis adage. We need to hit the quarterback and put him down hard. It's exactly what we need to do. And I think with Yannick, with Kuntz, I think with this scheme and system, I think we're going to get more sacks, which means we're going to get off the field more because they're not going to be able to convert on third down as easily. Hopefully Gus Bradley can work his magic in the secondary with all those young guys. I would have preferred to get a seasoned free safety from free agency. A lot of them were franchise tagged, including the guy I wanted, Marcus May. Justin Simmons was that, but that was expected. I was hoping for Marcus May. That didn't happen. I heard we didn't even go after John Johnson, who went to Cleveland from the Rams. That was a little disturbing if that's true, but I think that was our biggest hole. I think we got fortunate that Merrick fell to the second round. We could move up a little bit and grab him, but still, he's a rookie. There's a learning curve, obviously. Even if you're a stud player in college, you're stepping up to the NFL, and everybody in the NFL would kick ass in college. So, and then you have elite NFL players. So, I think there's going to be a learning curve there. He might give up some plays. I think we're going to need to be patient. Again, I would have rather have had a seasoned veteran back there, especially, as that free high safety, kind of like our goalkeeper back there. He's our last line of defense. It's a little worrisome. So let's see. Raider Wolf said Yannick, Crosby, and Farrell are going to keep opposing quarterbacks under a lot. Oh yeah, I agree. And under this scheme, I think it's going to better suit them. And don't forget about Malcolm Kuntz, my guy. I was drafting him in all those mock drafts, and we got him, and I'm so happy. A lot of people compare him to Khalil Mack because he came out of University of Buffalo. I think he's more like Yannick. I'm not going to say he's going to be as good as Yannick. Maybe a Yannick light, but maybe that's all we need right now, at least in the first year, a third down presence. What do you think of Farrell? A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's awesome. I think he's a solid player. I do not think he was worth the fourth overall pick. Obviously, Devin White was there, and he showed what he could do this season, especially in the playoffs. He was unbelievable. Now you could say, well, he's surrounded by talent on Tampa. Yes, that's true, but I think he would have been a better player for us. I heard they couldn't trade down, but then my issue with that is it seems like they reach every year, especially in the first round. You could say that with Leatherwood, but then after the Farrell pick, both Gruden and Mayock were saying, well, we had him and Joey Bosa right there even. I'm like, no, just stop. No, I'm not going to play that. But so good. Yeah, he can steal the run game. No, he's a good player. I don't have, people knock Farrell, but it's not his fault he was selected fourth overall. I think he was probably a mid to late first round guy. That's on Gruden and Mayock for doing that. It's not against him. He's a solid player. The more Blue Juice he drinks, the more difficult it's going to be to read the comments. No. We're not going to drink too much. Just a little bit, just enough to have some fun. Maybe the after party, I'll have another one. How about that? You guys have anything else you want to say? Again, I'm looking forward to this season, especially with Gus Bradley. That's why I started. And Gus, we trust, because a lot of people knock him and kind of said, well, he was lucky he had this and lucky. No, if you watch the video, look at the stats. Every single stop he was at there, the defense improved. I mean, it is what it is. Hey, AJ screwed up some words. He does that every night, Sandy. We're going to talk about that. We're talking about Raider football. We're talking about fantasy football. We're talking about the NFL. And if you want to talk about other sports, I know some other sports, but maybe not soccer, maybe some hockey or something like that. So what do you guys think about me doing just like a general Olympic preview of the U.S. athletes or something like that? What do you guys think about that? Because that was an idea I had since the Olympics is starting next Friday. Is the opening ceremony in Tokyo. Well, you really got me to like football again. I appreciate that, Sandy. And I want you to stay with me between our live streams and the videos. Like I said, I will be doing a video on your Chicago Bears next week. That is planned. And I'll talk about some fantasy, and there are a couple of possible sleepers there too. I love Olympic sports. So do I. I used to watch it, especially as a kid. I remember in 1984, go for it, player, Mick, go for it. Hey, I think it's great. Any topic. I appreciate that. I remember in 1984 when they had the McDonald's thing. I think McDonald's lost a lot of money in it. I think they used to have a thing where they used to give out game tickets, and it would be like swimming or track and field or decathlon or whatever. And if the U.S. team won a gold medal, you got a free Big Mac. It was silver was a fry, and a bronze was a Coke, a soda. And I think they did it before the boycott. So if you don't know, 1980 in Moscow, the U.S. boycotted the Olympics there. So it was only like the Eastern Bloc, teams. And then in 1984, Russia said, well, screw that. We're going to boycott. So none of those, Russia didn't go, or Soviet Union. The Eastern Bloc teams like East Germany didn't go, things like that. Romania. So basically the U.S. got a ton of medals, which resulted in like McDonald's having to give away a ton of food. So I don't know if you guys remember that. If you're old enough to remember that, I remember that. My dad liked that since we didn't have to pay for food for a couple of weeks. Let's see. That would be fine, like the Olympics bags game in the Olympics. I don't know what that means. You can clarify that. An Olympic rundown would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'll go over it, probably like the major ones and like the ones like maybe to watch, like if we have a good chance at, medaling and stuff. Maybe some of the obscure ones as well. Do you know about the Paralympics? I've heard of it. I don't really follow it, but yeah, I've heard of it. Cornhole. Are they going to have cornhole in the Olympics? Are you sure? No, that's not real, Sandy. You're pulling my leg now. That's not real. That can't be real. Is that real? Is that legit? Cornhole? No. You never know. But Mandela, stop. You guys are hilarious. I do appreciate you guys coming here. I thank you guys for coming here and supporting this channel and stopping by. I know some of you are not necessarily Raider fans or even football fans. I do appreciate you stopping by and supporting me, supporting this channel, and listening to me babble on about stuff. Maybe the Paralympics has cornhole. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't get into that. We love you too, Sandy. Thank you. Where is the other Wonder Twin? That is my question. Did she call it a night early? Maybe so. Let's see. Put the bigger one in. I thought I had both screens. I apologize for that. I thought I had both screens larger. Maybe it's when I go. Maybe it is larger. Yeah. Never mind. So what I have to do is I use OBS. Just a quick side note. I use OBS to be able to talk to you on screen and show the graphics. You can change the size of what screen you want to use, including the visuals. And it resizes for some reason. And I also have to have the YouTube studio open to start and stop the stream, obviously. So I don't know why it changes the size. That's just doesn't make any sense. She's on a call. Okay. You took the words out of my mouth. Oh, that's very nice, Earth Daughter. I love you too. She's always working like CSN. She's very busy. Yes. Sis is very busy. Wonder Twin powers activate. You guys. All right. All right. It looks like we don't have any other questions regarding the Raiders. Again, I will be doing I found last week, if you didn't watch my video on the NFL Network did a little YouTube video about quote unquote breakout stars. And I had to make fun of it. That was my circus video, Sandy, that you commented on. They came out with another one. It's not quite as horrendous, but I'm gonna do a video on it anyway because some of the stuff didn't make any sense to me at all. And well, that'll probably come out tomorrow, and I'll do another Raider Rumor probably Sunday, and then start with the NFC North as far as the fantasy focus team wise. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're just trying to be a little more lighthearted, have some fun with it. And, you know, to be honest, it's not like I'm not going to knock like another YouTube channel or something like that if they make a mistake. You know, we're human, but I'm talking about the NFL Network. This is $1 billion company. And if you look at their thumbnails, they're pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. And then you have all these quote unquote experts. There's even one guy that was a former personnel guy in the NFL in that video. And he made 2 picks. One I agreed with, and the other one, it just made no sense whatsoever. And, you know, the one was CeeDee Lamb, he said, was going to be a quote breakout star when the guy had like 130 targets and like 90 some receptions last year, and that was with Dak Prescott being hurt in October. And it's just like, well, duh, you know, that's a breakout star. In fairness, now NFL did put out a video. I would highly recommend it. It's not the one I'm going to do tomorrow. I think that one's kind of stupid too. But they did one with PFF, Pro Football Focus, about breakout players. I looked at it to see if it was stupid too, but it made a lot of sense what they said, so I'm not going to touch that. I'll respect that for the most part. I agreed with it. Your thumbnails are awesome. I appreciate that. My the circus isn't dead. You like my titles with that? Well, you got to have some fun with it. I will not knock like I said, like YouTubers and stuff like that. You know, we're kind of relative amateurs to this, you know, but you have NFL Network run by the NFL, $1 billion company. I expect much more. And it was just a joke. All these experts, and most of them didn't have a clue what they're talking about. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we end this stream? Again, I do appreciate you guys coming and coming to my live streams and participating in here as well. I do appreciate that. If you're not getting my notifications, I'll say this. I'm getting a lot of subs telling me that they're not getting my notifications. What I want you to do is go to my page, unsub, and then resub, and then go to the bell notification and click all. There's an option for selecting what type of bell you want. Click all, and that should fix it. For some reason, YouTube messes with it, and I don't know what to say. I'm not the only one who has to deal with that. Other people have dealt with that as well, and that's supposedly the solution. So good to see the face behind. I'm on here, Earth Daughter. That is not completely fair. I am on live streams, and I have shown my face before. Now, not quite as big of a screen. And that was a suggestion by one of my subscribers. So I do listen to those as well. Put comments in the videos as well. If you like it, put a comment. If there's something you want me to modify in videos or improve upon, I take all of your suggestions as well. I won't mention their names. Oh, Raider Wolf, I feel like you do a better job than some of these other guys that are much bigger channels. I won't mention. Oh, number one, I appreciate that. I appreciate the comment. Thank you very much. It's a nice compliment. Number two, the size of the channel isn't necessarily commiserate with quality. Some market better than I do, and I admit that. Some have better collaborations. I don't want to talk about other YouTube channels. Like I said, we're all kind of like amateurs at this, and I don't feel that would be right. There are a lot of Raider channels that I do like, that I do enjoy immensely myself. And I would not discourage you from going there as well. It's easier to see now on my little phone screen. Good. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming. I think we're going to close it out here. We're getting near an hour now. Thanks again. And like Earth Daughter says, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. If you're subscribed and didn't get my notifications, unsub, resub, hit that bell notification and select all, and that should fix it. Okay. Thank you again. And as always, go Raiders.